feel like we've kind of hit the apex of doctrine here in this section, and now we're going to kind of start tapering back down and calming down a little bit. But after all that, then we get into, so we talked about how to worship and what we worship, and then we receive the concise definition of truth here. We're told that truth is knowledge of things as they are, and as they were, and as they are to come. The Spirit of truth is of God, and Christ is the Spirit of truth. He that keepeth the commandments receives truth and light until he is glorified in truth and knoweth all things. The point that I wanted to make here is that this is referring to priesthood knowledge. Okay, there's all kinds of truth, and we want it all. But Brigham say, if something is true, it belongs to us. We want to circumscribe all truth into our doctrine. That is our philosophy. But specifically, priesthood truth. Because what you learn is when you understand the plain manifestations, the ordinances, the plainness of the holy order of the priesthood, when you can see it and comprehend it, you can understand the history of the world, the dispensations, you can understand the eternities easily and clearly. It becomes an eternal pattern that repeats itself over and over and over again, from one eternity to the next. So truth is knowledge of things as they are and as they were and as they are to come. That's not something that's not a mystical thing. That's not something that's not the unknowable omniscience of God. That is comprehension of the priesthood through the ordinances in a way where you understand with plainness who you are, why you're here, what has happened, and what's going to happen as it pertains to eternity, progression, salvation, and these matters. So this fullness of truth, knowledge of things as they were, are, and will be, this is what we gain if we properly receive and ponder and comprehend the priesthood.
Well, this is how, like when Moses, what did Moses say? I wish that all men were prophets, or butchering it, something along those lines. Essentially what Moses was saying is that to be a prophet, as you just said, you just have to understand the patterns, the process, right? The way that the Lord operates. It's not that prophets always know or always receive this very random, hey, this is something that's going to happen in the future, and it just comes out of thin air, like it was just, manifested out of nowhere. They just had this knowledge all of a sudden. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, because there are examples of that in the scriptures where a prophet can predict something very exact and very specific to unique individuals. Most of the time, though, prophets are simply revealing or restoring truth and understanding that already is. It's just part of the plan, right? And so when Moses says, I wish that all men were prophets, what he's saying is, I wish that all men were living worthy to see and recognize how the hand of God works, how the eternities are structured, because then they too would understand and see what's coming, what's next, how this eternal round operates. And Moses had that, and he sought others. He sought that others would receive that as well, and they chose not to, for the most part.
Thank you for watching. If you found this content spiritually enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like the gospel, these little things make all the difference, and it helps the algorithm push out better content for everyone to enjoy on YouTube.